comes at night, like the rising tide. A slow approach, no place to hide. The way it moves with a haunting grace, me possessed with one embrace. Lonely ghost.
All right. Well, welcome, everyone. It's time as we begin our Old Gods of Appalachia game today. And as we take this dream into the darkness, we come upon our three young children who are dealing with things far darker than their ages ought to give. But in these hills, well, we just call that growing up. So, in Tipton's home for the young, there is a place out back. Now, the back is a place where all know not to go. Even those who are able to sneak out of their rooms for a little romance in the night. Did someone say something? Romance in the night know that where you might hide among the orchard and even get close to the lines of the trees. You don't go in the back. No. For whatever reason, getting caught there is worse. Plus, there are tales who went back there and saw things. Things that made no sense. They came back not able to quite describe, as if whatever they saw didn't quite fit into what we would call words. And even while their friends and those who try to help them through would do the best they could to try to get what happened out of them, well, they didn't have enough time before they undoubtedly got adopted. But in the back is exactly where Papa and Avery and Howard are. They've gone there today. The sun's shining, so of course it must be safe, right? And they're in a very thin, worn path through briars and all the plants that tell you don't go down this way. They found a garden, 5 iron spikes stuck around it, salt in between. Any person with any sense would have run the other way, not gone near it. Creepy witchcraft granite stuff, things I don't need to get messed up in, stuff we don't need to know. Just go back and do the same. And of course, that is why Papa jumped right over the line. Both feet and landed in the garden. Now, Papa, I just need you to roll me a d20.
Oh no, we're cooked. I got a 13.
13. You land. You feel in this moment as you look around the ground. Almost seems to move as you land upon it. Like a guard dog taking a step close to an intruder and giving it a sniff. Breeze blows the weeds, pollen around, as if the whole space is deciding if you are a friend or its next victim. After a moment, for whatever reason, it settles, still ever watchful, making sure you don't do anything you ain't supposed to. But for the moment, besides you ain't no threat. Not yet, anyway. What would you like to do?
Alright, so if I metaphorically walked to the center and looked at the gravestone thing, would you eat me? Just asking.
I love this. All right, you can go ahead and give me a persuasion challenge. Intellect challenge. Persuasion would work here as like if it's skilled using magic potentially.
Well, it's not like I'm trying to persuade them. I'm asking them. It's like, okay, if I walk over there, will you see me as foe and eat me? Like that's like.
So it's an intellect challenge.
Oh, it is. Oh, because I have to figure out like what the answer is. Oh,
Right.
sorry.
You're asking a question. So the way this would be intellect challenge, and then you can make an argument for any skills you think can apply here.
Okay. So I have skilled talking. It's like train into skills. Each turn selected, you must choose 2 different skills. Like, what does that mean again? Enabler?
So it sounds like you probably would be able to.
Okay.
We'll lower this one category down.
Okay. Please, dice gods. And the 9.
All right.
We're cooked.
Well, you skilled lowered it though, so. With that, the ground again rattles, making your intention known. And the breeze that those of you outside know comes from nowhere. It should come from behind all of you as well. But you just see the breeze, don't feel it. But Piper, you feel it as though it comes from the garden around you and even up from the ground. Blowing towards the center as if saying, fine.
Well, thank you. That's mighty kind of you. She's gonna kind of like take tentative steps forward, you know. Like she's like, listen, I'm gonna take this nice and slow, you know. We're not gonna fight. I'm just gonna go up there, take a peek, get on here. So she's gonna walk closer and closer, and then she's not gonna go anywhere like in the flower. She's not gonna disturb the flowers, not gonna disturb the plants. She's just gonna peek and read what's on the stone.
All right. on the stone. Around the stone, you see tiny flowers have bloomed, each one only 3 or 4 inches tall, with teardrop white blossoms that seem mostly congregated upon the side of which you've approached. Noticeably, 2 sections are bare in front of it, just wide enough and long where you think someone might have knelt here. Almost as if the flowers bloomed up around them as they did. That same side that faces towards you of the stone, it's worn just a bit. Unevenly, as if by water that rotted through, but the rest is still fine and well edged. On the stone itself, it says Eddie and Katie,
Oh no.
and beneath, beloved mothers.
Piper's gonna read that. And then she's gonna kind of just like I don't know, she's like, do you protect her? The beloved mothers too? She's gonna ask the guardian dog or something.
Yeah, the ground here, this thing around. What is your question?
It's like, do you protect their memory too? Like you protect her when she comes here? Like the matron? It's kind of like you protect like the good feelings in here. I don't know. Just trying to get like a deeper understanding. I don't know.
Yeah. And there's a grunt, a growl now. Deep. Deeper and more guttural than any dog. But warm. As if acknowledging, that's right. I'll protect her.
Piper is like a bit choked up at this point. She's still empathetic. She still cares about people a lot. And so she's gonna sit. She's gonna sit down. And kind of be like, they must have been real special people. And I reckon you think the matron's a real special person too. Did she make you?
Give me another intelligence challenge, please. And anybody who wants anything, y'all are watching this, you're part of this, so feel free to jump in.
Does Howard see anything?
I would say so you see the wind moving, and
Okay.
you can hear the growling.
Okay.
So you can, the only thing you don't, like, the big thing you didn't get was you didn't, like, you were like, where's that breeze coming from? Because it should be coming from here, and it's not.
Right.
It's
Okay.
coming from in there and ending in there. Like, it's clearly something odd.
Right.
But
But
other
there
than that,
isn't.
you're very aware of what's happening.
Gotcha. But there isn't like an actual invisible being of some kind in there. It definitely just seems to sort of be.
Well, that's right, because your sight can see, right?
Yeah, I can see invisible things.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Your sight was odd at first. Just saw something moving. And just now, as it was kind of given its answer there, it was a little odd. You would see the flowers and the herbs, and then the back of the wood, the way the lines of the vines and the leaves were. And in that, your eye, almost like trying to make sense of movement, mirrored the figure of a bear.
Mama bear.
Made of outlined by all these elements. 15 feet at the shoulder. As it growls and you perceive it. And it's almost as if your mind began making sense of like a magic picture poster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of the effect here.
Mm-hmm. Howard will tell Avery there's a ghost bear in there. I don't think Popper sees it.
A what?
Ghost bear. I don't think Popper sees it.
You have a really weird imagination, you know that?
I get told that a lot. And Howard will just watch it to make sure it's not like looking like it's going to attack Piper.
Avery's just gonna try to look at whatever Howard's trying to see and just kind of like look at a non-existent camera like, what is he looking at?
It's like the friend standing next to you at the magic picture.
Yeah.
I
don't. What is...
Howard will start trying to like outline it in the air and for Avery to be like, it's right there. There's the head. There's the.
What? Yeah, I see it. Obvious lie.
Amazing. All right, so Papa, you had intelligence challenges. You asked this question, right?
Yeah, I also want to ask if it has a name.
Okay.
And I got a 13.
All right. Now, Piper and Avery, you begin to see the outline as it begins to reveal itself to you. And then, with a strange movement, it stands upright. The shoulder is not that of a bear, but of a large man.
Oh, that.
Large, and as the darkness
Okay, hold on.
of the wood.
Give me 1 second.
Howard just nods knowingly at Avery when Avery says that, oh, I can see it now.
Oh, that's the thing. Yeah, no, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah. See, weird. And these strains just begins to like make a shape like a man. Going to have to continue a little bit here. And what's odd is that then it becomes like a suit. Charcoal. And brown pants. Dark skinned man with a long brimmed hat. Standing about 11 feet tall. Himself who grew out 8 feet wide. Looks down upon Piper. While we're waiting, I'll have your tour's reactions.
I think Howard's watching this and sort of mumbling, well, not a bear, it's like a man bear.
Man or pig? Oh.
I don't see any pig stuff yet. Just turning into a man. Can we hear the conversation? We can hear what Piper is asking.
Yeah, you can hear. Definitely hear what's going on. It's not that far. It's a pretty small garden.
Yeah.
So you can still hear everything.
No, Howard will just say to Avery, so it's protecting this place. I don't know if this is connected to all the disappearing kids or not. This might just be the matron's like safe space.
I wonder if Man Bear knows anything. You think he might? I feel like he's the only person Matron could talk to. Yeah, and I don't know. I guess not person. Man Bear.
Maybe. Sounded like the stone's got some names on it. Maybe people who are no longer around. I mean, it looks a little like a gravestone, but
Matron talks to dead people. I see. Yeah, that's about par for the course.
Howard sort of sighs. I feel like the more we find out, the less we understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to stop any of it.
Let's say, looking down the ground, I'll give you a few all details here.
Yeah.
You can see along this footpath, there are places where the high heels, or the heels of the matron, you can see the shoe prints in the dirt. Walk this way. And just outside of that circle of salt, there's a little bit of indentation, unhealth, right in the shape of a pair of women's shoes. On the other line of the side of the salt, you can see indentations besides what Piper has left of bare feet. And strains of the strange white, silver hair, gray hair of the matron on the side of the salt you're on, and strands of red hair on the other. Piper, you back?
Yeah. Sorry.
Understand. So you'd watch as this form turned into a man, dark skin, in a worker suit, large brimmed hat, who then looks down upon you in a somewhat welcoming voice. Well, hello, young one. I'm Bartholomew.
Bertha, what now?
Bartholomew.
Can I call you Bertha? Just kidding. Sorry, I don't know Bartholomew.
Yes.
Can I call you Barth?
If that would make you happy for the time, I can go by that name. Since you
Oh,
wish it.
I'm just a young. But she's gonna stand up and is he like physical form? Is he like she's a kid. She's gonna reach out her hand to like shake his hand.
Yeah. He's totally, it looks flesh and bone at this point.
Okay.
Reach out, and his hand is a little bigger than your head as it takes your hand. Goes, well met.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Barth. My
Nice
name's
to-
Piper.
Oh, indeed. Indeed. Piper.
You know me?
Piper of the hill. Runner of streams. Convincer of shadows. I have seen you and know you.
Are you spying on me?
Looks up. Howard, protector of kin, seer of the invisible. Cross the line and know you are welcome.
Howard just sort of gives a nod, recognizing the app description, and steps across into the garden as well because he's been invited.
Avery,
Hello.
innocent of mind and innocent of tact.
Yeah. What's tact?
Cross and be known.
Yeah, guys, what's tact?
I don't know. He has big ass.
That would mean
It's obviously something that you don't have much of, Avery.
I have a lot of things. Hey, what's tact?
If you knew, it would not help you, so there is no point in talking.
You talk weird.
Indeed. Now, Piper, you asked me a question, and to this I will answer you. The one that comes here, I do not regard her as friend when she is out of the salt, but coming here, she is a beloved friend who I will always be with and protect. I wish I could do more, or could have done more for the two that brought her, but I knew them not. As he looks down at the stone. And I am sad for you that you know only the one that approaches the circle and not the one who steps inside.
What happened to What happened to the one inside?
Inside here,
Yeah, why didn't she exist on the outside? Why only on the inside?
looks. She had compassion on one. So she could have compassion on all. She saw the predicament of those at the home. Your family that aren't of your blood. And she worked her ways to do what she could. In a form that would do things she never would want to do. But would stem the evil that seeks to feed upon you all.
So she became something she's not, outside of the salt, to keep us safe, but comes in here to be who she really is?
And he nods.
That's really, really sad, Mr. Barth.
Sad for her, not for the lives that exist. And the lack of blood that has been spilled.
I'm glad I saved her life. Sorry, I did it. I didn't laugh. She didn't laugh, obviously.
Right. And you will be given your own sad tasks to do to help, or not. And that is your burdens, just like this is hers.
Do you know what tasks we're gonna have to do?
I know what you have been told. For the one that is who she truly is, who knelt here and cried, mourns what has been said to you and what you have been given.
What would your advice be? We don't know how to go about anything. We want to help people, but we don't know how to help people. We're just kids, Mr. Barth. And you seem like a mighty wise guy.
Yeah, you use big words that I don't understand. Seriously, what's tact?
Do you know what's being fed?
I know them too well. They are evil and dark and serve that which has been imprisoned here in these hills and wants out. I do not wish them to see that. And lowers himself the best he can. Though him on knees still being a good 6 feet almost makes you feel smaller. He says, now, you are children blessed of the green. Know this. The green grows. The green is there when the bird and the squirrel and the rabbit are born, and it is there when the wolf pierces their throats and devours them. The green is there when the summer comes to bring growth, and when it is cold and takes their life to nourish the green.
The circle of life?
The green is all. the fierce storm and the coming flood. In the brightest, most peaceful spring day when you have the best game ever. You see, your question makes no sense to me, Piper. Therefore, I have no answer.
Okay.
Are these things of the green then?
What things are you talking about?
The two creatures that Howard asked if he knew what they were, the ones eating or feeding on the children, are they of the green?
No. They are of the dark. They are lower things.
Hmm.
So there's the dark. There's the green. Is there the light? Or is the green the light?
The light came long ago, before any man or woman set foot on these hills, made these hills imprison the dark within and left.
The light's gone?
Only a trace of it can be found these days. But do not take it lightly. It grants what it will and takes what it wants, with no input from you.
I thought the light was supposed to be good. It sounds just as bad as the dark one. I thought,
The dark. You are wise, Piper, of the words. But know this. The dark and what it takes simply wants to make you lesser. And eat you from the inside out, and make a shell and bring upon its coming. The light. Its will is its own, but seeks no vendetta against the men and women of these hills.
interesting. One more question, Mr. Barth, from me. That's okay. I know I've been talking your ear off. But you said we're blessed of the green? What does that mean?
Indeed, children of the green. I think you know.
I think I don't.
Do you not have gifts? Have you not used those to get what you want? To help each other, to keep you safe from the dark?
Oh. I do understand.
All this is from the green to you.
So we gotta fight the darkness with the green?
It has been the green's sacred duty to keep the darkness bound, so this world may flourish.
All right. So where can we find the green? I'm just kidding.
Looks to the left, looks to the right, like you're in.
So it's the earth. Okay. Wait, does that mean that the trees, when Dahlia talked to the trees or something, the trees tried to help us? Was that the green trying to help us? Can we
Indeed, the
talk
green
to
can
it?
axe through the trees.
Can we talk to the green?
In many ways, you are right now.
You're being very awfully cryptic, Mr.
I am a
Bond.
representative of it.
Howard just pipes up a little and says, "The green shows me things. I don't understand them a lot of the time. Stuff that others don't see." Not very good at figuring it out always sometimes. But would there, and Howard looks like he's trying to figure out how to say this because he's not very good at talking to people or bear people. Says, I mean, sometimes, as you say, the predators, they eat the other animals, and that's all part of the green, but what's going on here is not. He said there's darkness. Is there some we can do to get rid of these things? I think the green would like that too.
These things, sometimes bound, sometimes fought and killed, all at great cost. Chosen of the green, you may find ways to cross the lines that she has made. Brings great danger upon you. To stay and do as she has asked can bring great pain upon your souls and minds. The thing in which she protects you all lies in a cave by the mill. Its floor gives way to its feasting chamber, though there is an entrance within the side of the hill. The dark and those who choose to live upon its prison are at odds like the rabbit and the wolf. And while we wish to see that wolf remain in its prison, that fight is still the rabbit's.
Howard just nods and kind of like looks like he's just sort of thinking, pondering.
Anything else?
Sorry, I'm like in and out of sick right now. My bad.
No. Is there any? Just above table, is there anything else that we think we need to, information to get? We've been given a lot already.
Yeah, we've been given a lot.
I don't know if we want to. Mr. Bartholomew's been real nice to let us talk his ears off this long. He probably shouldn't be around when the matron comes back.
Yeah, you're right.
I will tell you this. Barrows of burden. Should you decide on your course and wish to travel it like the rushing river, you may write it upon paper, or wrap it in the leaves from the apple trees, and then burn it. Along with one strand of each of your hairs, and simply say my name, and we will hear your action and send what we can. Teach you what may be helpful. I offer this once to you.
Howard nods. Thank you.
Thank you, Bartholomew. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, guys. I might have to leave for tonight. I think I'm gonna be like thrown up again. So
Oh no.
it's okay. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I hope you feel better, Lena.
Thank you. I hope so too.
All right.
Thank you. It was fun so far. I'm sorry I'm leaving early.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, feel better.
Thank you.
So I think probably at this point, unless Avery's got something else he'd want to ask, we'd probably leave the garden.
Avery's got nothing. He immediately is already turned around.
All
We
right.
should probably get out of here soon.
So as soon as that comes to your mind, you look back and they are outlined once more. And then just leaves in the wind.
Yeah, let's get back to where we're supposed to be. And I think on the way, Howard will sort of, he always was walking still with his like apple picker. And he just sort of looks at it and says to Avery, I think I'm going to need something more than this. I don't know how useful this is going to be.
I don't know what else you could get, especially around here.
Apologies, Matt, did we determine what like day of the week it was? Like, was it like just like a day or two ago that the last group went to the mill?
Yeah. You had 3 days till the
Okay.
next group goes.
3 days to the next group. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you're here for that session when she had said that. She had given you all 3 days.
Okay. Cool. Know if we can. Don't have a lot of time to figure something else out.
And so this is day 1 of the 3.
Yep. I don't think anyone's. You may not really know how we can bind it away or hurt it till we get there. It'd be good to try to prepare somewhat, if that's what we want to do. Howard will look at Avery. Is that what we want to do?
Seems like that's the best choice right now.
I mean, we either risk ourselves or keep letting the other kids get adopted. That don't really sit right with me.
And it's not right with me either.
Still wonder if there's something we could get it to. Something we could get it to try to consume that wouldn't sit well with it.
Right. So as a reminder, in this game, if that is what you're trying to do, then you ultimately start coming up with the plan.
Well,
And then as we get there, we'd roll dice to see if it works. It's
Right.
not going to be a GM gives you this answer.
right.
You come up with an answer, and then we roll to see how your understanding of magic works, and then it comes right. So that's sort of that's why even here, right, the my cipher, it's sort of like I'm giving you, hey, once you choose a course, you can go to this person for some help. Once you do this, but that has to be your
Mhm.
piece of the story, not the GM's.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. So I'd say. So tell me what I'm sensing, but it sounds like Lynn, like Phil, I think needs to be able to go back and forth with either you or Avery, and to be able to actually like kind of go this. Otherwise, it's going to feel like they're just driving the whole story by themselves.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
typically a very uncomfortable place to be.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of pain right now.
Okay.
Everything is slipping my mind.
I'm sorry.
well, let's start here. What's is there anybody we can go to? Because I'm not sure the matron in her outside the salt. That's still, I don't know. I guess she's younger and doesn't like shoes when she's inside the garden. Outside the garden, though, I don't think she really wants us to try to do anything to this thing. So I don't know if we can go to her.
I think going to her would probably not be the best idea. She also might get very defensive or angry at us as while we entered her garden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you seem to get out of Mr. Snare the extent that he knew. I don't think he really knows.
He didn't really seem to know much other than the garden and told us about the mill.
Hmm.
Mm.
Wonder if there's any way that we can just
Well, you can what? What are you trying to figure out?
sorry, I'm yeah, I guess above table, I just want us, if we're gonna do this, to go with some kind of a plan about what we're gonna try to do to this thing. And it still feels like trying to feed it something that it can't use, to trick it in some way, to at least weaken it to an extent. And I'm trying to sit here and figure out, it's being fed children.
Mm-hmm.
So is there something we can somehow give it? And I wonder if we gave it, do you think it would make it feel better or worse if we gave it the apples?
Will it even like try to eat them? Seems to really only know to devour, children like us. So at least that's all I know. I might think we're its only food source. I mean, we could I don't know, feed it a scarecrow or something. It looks like a kid.
That's an idea. Try to come up with something to trick it. That's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a way to. And Howard gets a totally dark look on his face. I mean, maybe if we made some kind of a scarecrow, like you said, we might have to do something to make it seem like a child. It's like a child. like one of us, we might have to, I don't know, give a little of, give a little of our blood or something
Ew.
to mask make it smell like us or sense like us, something like that. I mean, the Bartholomew said there's going to probably have to be a sacrifice.
Hmm. I wish there was an easier way to know if this would had any idea of working. We can't really test these things out.
No.
Again, above table, it has a fine chance of working like anything else you would come up with.
Yeah. Yeah, so above table, I'm starting to think that just going with this, and
I know sometimes it can be stressful to make decisions, but it's okay. This is part of the game, and it just sort of goes where it goes.
yeah, I guess if we're just chatting real quick above table
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit, I'm just trying to come up with something thematic that would make sense that we could get it to eat that it wouldn't like, and that's where I'm sort of stumbling right now is what that should be. If it's
Yeah.
Like what would you put in the scarecrow, kind of?
yeah, like what is it we're gonna poison it with? And we don't really know what the apples are, but we have a strong sense that they're like that the trees are feeding off of. See, the trees might be feeding off of children, but also it seems like we don't know this though that she evidently seemed to feed the other cultists too. We don't know that she did that. So
Right. The biggest thing is like you kind of get the day, so he somehow opens up the children, eats what's inside the big thing that lives in the mill,
mhm.
which is kind of that's the sacrifice that she's pointing you towards
Yeah.
in the 3 days, not the
Yeah, whatever's going on with the squirrels. That's it sounded like
Yeah.
there's a couple of weeks yet before that.
Yeah.
So
Especially guys, she's not so bound to that one. That's a little bit of a different thing. The
Yeah.
binding one is the one that's in the mill.
but I was just thinking about in terms of if would the apples make sense to use, or would it actually like the apples if the apples are being like themselves fed by children to an extent. Such wonderful conversations we have while we're
I feel like
A horror
it would
game.
I feel like it would be just
Horror
eating
game.
itself, kind of like an Ouroboros.
yeah. I mean, it could be something like that. Maybe something like that. I mean, especially because it's like because we sort of established to an extent that what's happening in the orchard itself is more of a physical thing that's being fed. It's being fed to a physical aspect versus the sort of energy or soul or spirit that's being fed at the mill. At least that was my understanding.
Yeah, you've picking up the lore. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is what has been pointing towards.
So maybe that's enough then. Maybe it's just that, the apples are sort of if it needs the spirit of the children, but what we're feeding it is actually more of the flesh, the earthiness, like the green of it, maybe that'll do something to it. Yeah, I mean, that might be a thing to do. You have to make a scarecrow. I like that idea.
I mean, I got a lot of hair. I got a lot of hair under this hat.
We can also weave it in because Bartholomew did just tell us that we can one time kind of get aid from him.
Mm-hmm.
So we might be able to use that at the same time. We're going to need somebody who can use magic. Howard has absolutely no training in magic of any kind, so he's
Avery's just a little talker. She don't know nothing about that.
But
our little magic girl has been MIA and will be MIA for another week.
I don't know. I think
Again, is okay. So I'm just saying because you're coming up with a pretty good plan, and so I think that's
Yeah.
good thing of the two of you to kind of come up with. So we kind of have Scarecrow. You want to use the apples.
Mhm.
I feel like if we put both of our pillows or all of our pillows, it would stack them up together. It would kind of look like a person. It's like the height of one of us. Maybe one of the younger ones.
Yeah, we could do that. We could, if we could, like if there are vines or something that are like on the apple trees, so vines we could get access to then wrap them in.
Maybe steal like a sack of flour from the kitchen.
Yeah. The question is, do we want to sneak out at like night, or do we want to even?
I feel like we'd have to build this thing under the other employees or the other people's adults' noses.
Yeah, because we want to go through.
Some of them could secretly just be trying to go against Matron.
Yeah,
So, I feel like the kids would have to be a little bit sneakier.
yeah, and I think we don't want to. I was thinking maybe if we went with the next shipment to the mill, but it sounds like they drop the kids in from the top, and we want to get around to the side door. So yeah, we probably need to go separate. Still might be worth seeing if we can steal a cart if we're gonna cart this Scarecrow around.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I wonder if we. Ooh. If we could drop the Scarecrow through the floor, so it's both getting it to eat something that's not good for it and be a distraction. Then we could come around the side while it's distracted as well. Let's see.
That does make the most sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably.
Avery's just thinking to herself, what makes the most sense to look like a kid? How do I smell like me?
Well, like I said, for Scent, we may need to have to give a little bit of ourselves to this thing. This is not Phil thinking about situations that we've had to do that before with the other characters.
Right. It would be just sacrificial, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we've kind of had to do, but it makes sense. But because we're definitely going to need to get it to at least momentarily think this is an offering. Okay.
Okay. So, what's a place you'd like to go for information or?
Yeah.
That's also what I'm trying to think of.
I think your plan is good. I think thou it's just kind of. You have like a lot of sources too that you found, so it's a lot of options that you can begin to try to understand.
What if because Mr. Snare, he did seem to know about those the train birds, the
Mm.
the things that came down. What if we went to him to ask about supplies to make a scarecrow? Say that we want to put something up to ward things off like that. He might then be able to give us supplies to like make something like that.
Yeah, that feels. Yeah, that definitely works. Feels like. I don't think. Yeah, that might be our best bet actually.
So when you think of supplies for a scarecrow, what are you thinking? 'Cause, I mean, ultimately you need like clothes, which you can easily get,
Yeah.
and something to stuff it with. Which there's leaves, there's plenty of
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what you're looking.
Stuff it with the apples.
Okay.
I don't know what you're looking for from him because it's all that.
Yeah.
A lot of
no,
this
I
you
get
can
that.
fairly easily get.
Okay. I mean, I think the thing to get would be like a sense of the layout of the mill, almost.
Okay.
But I feel like nobody. The point is that no one who goes to the mill comes back.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone actually knows the. I mean, the Bartholomew gave us, the whole thing with the hill and the door on the side, so it's probably somewhat self-evident. But I feel like that's our big thing now is how we get there.
Yeah,
How
which
can
is
we
always the
reach
decision
out
you
on the
try to
mill?
make there.
Yeah.
I'll say this. 'Cause I think the big thing that you're potentially, at least what I mean, is you're looking for some reason for that this is poison
Mm-hmm.
to them, and so you'd probably have to find some type of information on what might work for that.
Okay.
Whether that's a spell that you'd put on these apples or whatever that would cause it to
Mm.
to not just be empty, but to actually be a detriment, which is what
A
you're going
detriment.
for.
Right.
Supposedly, some of these. Supposedly, there's just arsenic at least hiding somewhere because someone tried to poison the matron earlier.
That's a good point. Someone had access to.
Or at least, or just like maybe like some cleaning chemicals that aren't just good for anyone in general.
I mean, that's a good point because it's notable that whatever the matron is, they thought arsenic would do just fine.
Yeah.
Like even though we know that she's not quite human, so at least that gives a sense that whatever they were using can affect these things. So what we might need to do is, I don't know if we don't trust any of the kitchen staff, but we kind of got to get in the kitchen, I think.
Mm-hmm. Gotta try to at least be on pretend to be on friendly terms with the cooks. Maybe they might tell us something.
All right.
Might be a couple ways we could do that. So one way we could, because I don't know who would have seen, because we were there, or I wasn't there, but our group to an extent was there when the matron caught the one cook who tried to.
It was Piper who
Yeah.
who saw the whole thing.
Yeah. So we could try to be real sneaky, and since we're already kind of known, actually try to convince someone on the kitchen staff that we wanna work with them and do something to Matron and see if we can get access to the poison they were using that way. Or if there's any sense that there's anyone in on the cook staff or anything who's really new and may not be aware of what's happening, that we could come up with an excuse that we need access to stuff.
All right. I mean, there are the day staff that come in, and some are newer and younger than others. If that is where you'd like to try to see if you can talk your way into good graces.
Well, Avery's the talker.
Yeah, to say that Avery can do talking, even if it's just we have a reason why we need access to cleaning supplies.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can keep him talking when I'm looking for the cleaning supplies, Howard can be looking for just anything.
Avery's a good distraction. by never shutting up.
Indeed. So is that what you want to go and attempt to do?
I think so, yeah.
Moving towards dinner here a little bit. Ending the first day a little bit. All right. So, as it gets past the lunchtime and such things, the staff of the night is called and comes in, and there's a few that are. So I'll say this: can someone give me an experience point for player intrusion?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
Because that's essentially what you're trying to do.
Yeah, no, it is. It is absolutely. We're basically saying this is player intrusion for there to be a new naive staff member.
Exactly. That is exactly what
we're
this
going for.
actually is. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I do something like this is really what this should happen in this game.
Yep. Nope, that's fine. That's fine.
Perfect. All right. So see a younger one being shown on a little bit, and you've seen ones like this. They just seem the type of young person, is a young man who just wants everyone around to like them. As he's introducing himself to the children, getting to know them, and people taking him for a ride here or there, as they say, "No, come on, make sure you carry in the potatoes. Let's go." "Oh, sure," and stops a little too long, but looks at you two, and "Well, hey there. Will you help me with some of these? Maybe help me carry some in."
So she is going to she's just gonna God, I don't actually think okay, hang on. Sorry. Where was it? Yeah. I'm not very physically strong for that. Do you I don't know, do you have like any advice? You know, look at these. I'm
Well, carry the bag of salt then.
so she grabs it and she she's struggling, quote unquote, to pick it up. So she's clearly just trying to fake not being able to. Can you help me? I can't really.
Oh, of course. Whew. You need to take your turn at that apple pickle more often, don't you?
Well, we got Howard. He's the one with all the strength and everything.
Well, how it's good to use your strength to help others, but you use it too often, and no one gets to learn to take care of themselves.
Howard has picked up like 2 things of potatoes, and while the distraction's happening, is already heading into the kitchen.
Very good.
Nerd nods back, but is going to get in there and start looking while Avery does her thing.
Or just right up distraction.
Yeah, see, he's the strong one.
All right, Avery, give me an intellect challenge to go through. You have a nice. It's low.
I am also trained in deception. Just
Perfect.
I got a 19.
Oh, jeez.
A bit of an overkill.
Well, you get a minor effect to that, and what's a little extra if something happens?
What was that?
So 19 gives you a minor effect that you can kind of decide on.
Oh.
It's a little bonus then. So you're going to distract them. That gives time for Howard to do what they need to do in the kitchen. Is there an additional thing you'd like from this interaction?
She just kind of wants to like. She's really like overplaying it, trying to make him take pity on her. Like put like hey, maybe that kid might need a bit more of a push than some other kids.
All right. So he gets real down and is very much just not paying attention. No one else in there. He's just kind of loading the kitchen still, and giving Howard a little bit extra time alone as you are able to put down the potatoes.
Okay. Howard puts down the potatoes, and he's got the kitchen. So he is going to be trying to quickly search for. He'd love to find where like a stash of, like a potentially stash of the arsenic might be. In lieu of that, he'd go for cleaning supplies. This is an interesting little thing. His see the unseen. It also eases whenever he looks for just conventional things that are hidden. So he's really good at finding stuff that people try to hide. So he is looking in all the places where he's like checking drawers and then looking for like stuff's been packed against the side of this drawer. If I move it out of the way, oh, there's a little side like divot or side shelf people have used. Like he knows where people hide things. His sister used to hide stuff from him all the time.
What was that? Sorry, maybe something just fell. I didn't know what it was. All right, I found it. It's fine.
All right. So it eases. Yeah. So we'll give a intellect challenge.
Cool. I will. It'll be expensive because I have no edge in intellect, but I'm gonna put a level of effort in anyways. Because find that, and I think that is everything I can do on that. So let's see how I roll. That is a 16.
All right. So with that, you quickly search through whatever the arsenic, that type of thing was. It's not here.
Okay.
That quickly, that was probably something brought in and snuck
Right.
in and has been cleared out. However, looking down, you see all types of bleach and some nasty things that are meant to clean and disinfect. Between soap, specific things that are meant to eat away at the grime and that type of thing.
Okay. I think he would.
All right. So like a Lysol.
Yeah, like a Lysol. And depending on if he needs to be able to sort of like grab this and surreptitiously take it. So if it's a small enough thing, actually, he wouldn't want them to know it's missing. So he would potentially find a little bottle of some kind that he can dump a bunch into.
Absolutely. Well, you could. Okay, so it's in a brown bottle,
Okay.
and you're trying to find. You can see for bottles here. There's like what would essentially be a jar for putting in flour and such that you could quickly pour out and put a lot of this in.
Cool. He will do that. And for good measure, what would be... Ooh. If he could, if Avery has bought him enough time, he might also try to grab some lard.
Absolutely, you can do that. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Something that'll help with, again, what we're going to have to make the sacrifice, but to help again make it seem like it's a person. So just a little more sort of organic material.
Absolutely. All right, so some things you'd be able to find. Definitely the lard. You could find kerosene.
Ooh.
It's used to get through kitchen grease at
Yeah.
the time.
Oh, he'll take some of that. He's got kerosene. He's got some lard.
Some borax, if you'd like.
Yeah, he might get some rags that he can.
Howard's just gonna make a bomb.
Yeah, no, there's certain things are starting to click in his head as he looks at this, because again, he's also trained in engineering, so he's starting to.
He's just gonna make a bomb, blow up
Oh,
whatever's
dear me.
kid.
Oh dear me. Yeah, honestly, he will start pulling. So aside from the cleaning solution and stuff that'll just be, nasty to it, he will also, kerosene, lard, some rags that he can soak in it. And if there's any matches, he'll grab some matches.
All right, as well as some carboxylic acid.
He'll take that too. Whew.
Which would be
I cannot wait.
which would be known as phenol.
I cannot wait till Piper and Dolly come in and Howard and Avery. We made a bomb.
Here's the thing that's not going to surprise Courtney.
I mean, just got some comic clean supplies in the 1920s. Let's get this. But yeah, I love it. So you're able to get these things in, and I'm gonna say there's now it's just kind of getting out, because coming out with the bag's a little more suspicious.
Right.
So because of what Avery did, this is eased.
Okay.
So you can put anything else you want towards it. This is speed, really.
Speed. I have edge in that, so we'll go ahead and put 2 effort into this.
Nice.
Let's see. I also am trained in balance. I don't know if
I think I could give that to you, because
Depending
I
on
think
what
because it's
things.
walking in such a way. I like this, walking in such a way that it doesn't look like things you shouldn't have in there.
Yep.
He's
kinda
also,
going,
he also
"Yeah, just
does
walking."
have, like, a lot of things, just like trying to keep hidden.
Keep them from clinking together. Okay.
Yeah. I like that.
So cool. So that's that training and 2 effort. So. All right. That is a 12.
Very nice. Then, as quick as you'd like. Without anyone really noticing the difference, is because now they're kind of around to talk to this young man about get back to work. Come on. As you don't need, they can carry it fine. These kids will take you for everything you're worth. Little snot nose, why do you think they don't got any to look after them? and you are able to get out with this bag of supplies, free and clear from the kitchen.
From the distance, you just hear Avery being over dramatic.
All right. So where would you like to store these for the time being?
Jeez. Hmm. There were well, I feel like we can either try to store them somehow in one of the rooms, which I'm leery of because of all the other kids in there. Don't actually have. Do we have a place? Do we have any place, Avery, where we don't really have any sort of just place that we only know about at the moment, right?
Not exactly. There is the place that Avery and Piper hid in where we were playing hide and seek a while ago, where they, for some reason, heard like a heartbeat thingy walk past them, and no one else seemed to find them, actually, weirdly enough.
Yeah, so there's like a wardrobe and stuff you kind of had seen, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a sense that anything was actually ever stored in that wardrobe?
Well, it fit 2 kids in there, so.
No.
Yeah, if we could tell, it could be a place to be for like staff might be there occasionally.
Hmm. It's a place where just the sort of staff goes, but not the matron. If we could like hide it, like close it up in a box or something back in a corner and then like write on it, like matrons or something. So something that would make the staff not want to open.
Yeah, I like that. I think give me a good intellect challenge, either one of you. And the other one, whoever does it, can get an easement from the other. As you're trying to do that well.
I can, if you've got more intellect, Avery, I can give you an easement.
Avery, yeah, I have a ton of intellect.
Cool. So I'll give you an easement. I think
Yeah, intellect is definitely the speaker's thing.
Yeah. Howard, you know what it is? Howard is trained in drawing. If we think that he's seen the matron,
I was about to say you could kind of like combine the two, like drawing and like deception and forge handwriting.
That's what I'm thinking. If we've seen the matron label things before,
okay,
we can actually try to mimic her writing to make it even more. Yeah, I like that.
We're putting our brain cells together. Let's go.
I like it. So ease. And what are you putting towards it, Avery?
I will put 1 point of effort into this.
Okay.
And I think he mentioned like if the deception could work in as well.
Okay, yeah, because you have the deception. Okay, perfect.
All right. Let's see. Oh my god. I rolled a nat 1.
All right. Then that's where we're at for tonight.
Come on.
Okay. Well,
We'll come back to that GM intrusion at the start of next week.
No.
man, I was really looking forward to making a kitchen bomb.
All right. Not there, family.
Good night, family.
We might still be able to make it.